The sun hung low in the sky, casting a muted light across the quiet suburban neighborhood. It was the kind of winter day that felt like a scene from a postcard, yet it was frigid, with temperatures plunging well below freezing. Snowflakes danced through the air, settling soundlessly over everything they touched: rooftops, mailboxes, and the treacherous sidewalks that had become slick and glistening under a blanket of white. The streets were nearly deserted, save for an occasional tire crunching over the snow or a child bundled up against the cold. Tom peered out his frosty window, clutching a warm cup of coffee as he admired the winter wonderland with both appreciation and unease. The beauty was deceptive, masking the bitter chill that seeped through even the sturdiest boots. As he took a sip, something caught his attention. A movement at his front porch. He squinted against the brilliant white backdrop. Was that? Something stirred beneath the overhang where he'd left his outdoor decorations. Instinctively, his heartbeat quickened. Little did he know what awaited him just beyond the glass, an encounter that would shatter his serene afternoon and lead to an unexpected twist in his day. Tom settled deeper into his favorite armchair, relishing the warmth of his cozy home. The faint crackle of the fireplace provided a comforting backdrop, filling the room with a golden glow that contrasted sharply with the icy world outside. A book lay open on his lap, but his thoughts drifted, captivated by the tranquil setting and the soft sounds of winter settling over his neighborhood. Despite the cold beyond his walls, Tom felt enveloped in a cocoon of comfort. He was a man of simple pleasures, content to watch snowflakes flutter lazily from the sky while sipping coffee brewed to perfection. A retired school teacher, he often found joy in quiet afternoons like these, mindfulness wrapped in solitude. Yet as he sat there, lost in daydreams and gentle reflections, a sudden rustling noise jolted him back to reality. Curiosity piqued, he rose slowly from his chair, setting aside his mug. The sound came again, a soft thump against the door. A pang of concern washed over him. Was it just the wind or something more urgent calling for attention? Little did he know that beyond that door was an unexpected visitor waiting for warmth and compassion. As Tom approached the door, the soft thump he had heard grew more pronounced, accompanied by a faint whimpering sound that sent a shiver down his spine. He hesitated for a moment, heart racing with both anxiety and curiosity, before finally turning the knob and pulling the door open. The cold air rushed in, almost knocking him back as he stepped outside to investigate. What he saw brought his breath to a halt. There, huddled against the porch's edge, was a large German shepherd, its fur matted with snow and ice. The dog's soulful eyes met his, reflecting a mix of desperation and hope. It trembled uncontrollably, its body shaking from the cold as it instinctively inched closer to Tom, seeking warmth and shelter. Tom's heart sank at the sight of this frozen creature. He could see that the dog was not just cold but also frightened, its ribs visible beneath its thick coat. Kneeling down to meet the dog's gaze, Tom felt an overwhelming surge of empathy. The sudden realization of the animal's plight ignited a fierce determination within him. He knew he couldn't simply leave it out in the frigid air any longer. Tom's heart raced as he knelt beside the trembling German shepherd, a mix of shock and concern flooding through him. How could anyone leave this beautiful creature to suffer in such brutal cold? Questions flooded his mind. Was it a lost pet? Had it escaped from a home that was unkind? The thought of an animal enduring these harsh conditions alone jolted him into action. He reached out, gently stroking the dog's fur, feeling the icy remnants of the snow that clung to its coat. The dog looked up at him with wide, trusting eyes, and Tom's chest tightened with empathy. He couldn't comprehend how someone could abandon this loyal companion in favor of the elements. As he ushered the dog closer to him, he noticed each shiver and tremor, realizing how essential warmth and security must be for its survival. In that moment, Tom vowed to ensure this German shepherd would never have to endure such suffering again. Yet even as he contemplated bringing the dog inside, thoughts swirled in his head. Would other neighbors be as empathetic, or would they judge him for taking in a stray? Regardless of what others might think, Tom felt compelled to act now. The dog needed him more than ever. Tom took a deep breath, steeling himself as he crouched down to the German shepherd's level, extending his hand slowly toward the shivering dog. "It's okay, buddy," he murmured softly, trying to project warmth and reassurance. Despite his gentle tone, the dog flinched slightly at his movement, its instinctual fear making it hesitant to approach. Tom understood that trust takes time, especially for a creature that had likely faced hardship. He glanced back into his house, contemplating how to make the environment more inviting. He grabbed a soft blanket from the nearby chair and draped it over his arm as he returned to the porch. "Look what I have for you," he said, attempting to entice the dog with both his voice and the comforting fabric. The dog's ears perked up at the sight of the blanket but remained cautious, eyes darting between Tom and the doorway. Tom knelt even lower, creating an inviting space on the snow-covered steps. He offered a few encouraging words and a gentle smile as he slowly tossed treats just inside the threshold. Each small morsel seemed to give the dog pause, but it still didn't step forward, caught in a battle between hunger and fear. Tom's heart ached for this scared creature. He was determined to help it find safety within those walls. As Tom knelt there, trying to build trust with the nervous German shepherd, images flashed in his mind of the dog's possible past, a life that was likely filled with pain and fear. He imagined a scruffy backyard where the dog was chained, left alone for days, subjected to neglect and perhaps even cruelty. The scars of its past were evident not only in its matted fur, but also in the way it flinched at sudden movements and recoiled from human contact. In that moment, Tom pictured how the dog had likely endured harsh treatment from someone who was supposed to care for it, someone who mistreated this loyal companion. He imagined dark nights spent shivering in fear, longing for safety and warmth, but never knowing what it felt like to be truly loved. Each whimper and anxious glance from the dog revealed a hidden story of mistrust, cutting deeper than any physical scar. Tom sighed, realizing how crucial it was to help this dog unpack its painful history. He understood that every gesture he made now could either reinforce its fears or pave the way for healing. With renewed determination, he resolved to show the dog what compassion looked like, hoping to change its story from one of suffering to one of safety and love. Tom settled himself on the porch steps, creating a calm and inviting atmosphere as he reached into his pocket for some treats. "Look what I have," he said softly, shaking the bag gently while watching the German shepherd's ears twitch at the sound. He tossed a few treats just beyond the threshold in front of him and waited, heart pounding with anticipation. At first, the dog remained still, its body tense and unsure. But after a few moments, curiosity got the better of it. The German shepherd inched forward, cautiously sniffing at the treat before looking back at Tom with hesitant eyes. Encouraged by this small sign of progress, Tom kept his voice gentle and soothing. "It's okay, you can trust me," he reassured, holding out another morsel. Gradually, inch by inch, the dog approached him closer with each offering. Tom felt a surge of joy wash over him as he noticed the animal's initial wariness beginning to fade. Each treat was a small step toward allowing trust to blossom. Soon enough, Tom was rewarded with a soft nudge against his hand as the dog took its first brave leap into connection. With unwavering patience and kindness, he continued to foster this bond, determined to help the dog discover that not all humans bring harm. After several moments of coaxing and gentle encouragement, a remarkable change began to unfold in the German shepherd. With cautious determination, it stepped closer to Tom, sniffing the air and hesitating at the threshold. The warmth emanating from the house seemed to beckon, a stark contrast to the biting cold outside. Tom held his breath, heart racing with hope. Then, as if a switch had been flipped, the dog made its decision. It took a bold step forward, crossing the threshold and into the welcoming glow of Tom's home. Relief washed over its face, and for the first time there was a spark of acceptance in its eyes. Tom couldn't help but smile as he watched the transformation unfold. The dog now stood in the warmth, its body relaxing as it realized it was safe. Tom gently closed the door behind them, sealing out the frigid world outside. He knelt down again, offering more treats and praise, his heart swelling with joy. The German Shepherd looked around, taking in its new surroundings with a sense of wonder. In that moment, both man and dog shared a profound understanding. This was the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with warmth, love, and healing. As soon as the German Shepherd crossed the threshold, it was as if a switch had flipped. The once timid dog transformed into an adventurous spirit, bounding around the living room with newfound energy and curiosity. Tom could hardly keep up with its exuberance as the dog explored every nook and cranny, tail wagging excitedly. Furniture that had stood undisturbed in a neatly arranged room became the subject of investigation. Cushions were nudged aside while a playful paw stroked against the edges of Tom's coffee table. Soon toys that had lain dormant for years, left over from his grandchildren's visits, were enthusiastically snatched up, flung into the air, and playfully tossed aside as if to test new limits. Tom laughed at the joyous mess unfolding before him, recognizing how quickly life could change when love and joy entered a home. But amid this whirlwind of excitement lay slight chaos. Treat wrappers were scattered across the floor, and muddy paw prints marked trails on his once spotless carpet. Yet all of that seemed trivial compared to the happiness flooding through Tom's heart. The dog's playful antics filled his home with laughter, a sharp contrast to the cold silence that had characterized his days alone. In this moment of unforeseen consequences, Tom realized he hadn't just welcomed a pet, he had embraced a spirit ready to bring joy back into his life. As days passed, Tom and the German Shepherd formed an unbreakable bond that surprised them both. Each morning began with the dog eagerly greeting him, tail wagging furiously as if to say, "Good morning, let's make today special." They developed a routine filled with playful moments, chasing after a ball in the yard, enjoying long walks through the snow-covered streets, and curling up together on cold evenings. Tom found joy in teaching the dog simple commands, each successful attempt met with enthusiastic praise and treats. The dog responded readily, its eyes sparkling with intelligence and a newfound sense of belonging. Every time it learned something new, Tom felt a rush of pride mixed with affection. He was not just training a pet, but nurturing a companion who had once known fear and abandonment. During quiet evenings, they would sit side by the fireplace, the dog resting its head on Tom's lap while he stroked its fur. In those peaceful moments, he marveled at how far they had come together. The transformation from a frightened stray to a confident and loving friend symbolized resilience and hope. Their companionship blossomed into something deeper than either had anticipated, a genuine connection that filled their lives with warmth and happiness. As much as Tom cherished the bond he had formed with his new companion, he realized that providing the best care for the German Shepherd required more than love alone. Concerned about the dog's health and well-being, he decided it was time to seek help. Spurred by thoughts of vaccinations and proper nutrition, Tom picked up his phone and began researching local animal shelters and veterinarians. He quickly discovered a nearby animal shelter with a good reputation for helping rescue animals like his newly adopted friend. After making a few calls, he arranged for a visit to have the dog examined and vaccinated. The idea of taking the dog to a professional filled him with hope. Not only would the German Shepherd receive proper care, but he would also learn valuable information about its background and needs. During the appointment, Tom listened intently as the veterinarian provided insights on training techniques and diet recommendations tailored for his furry companion. With each piece of advice, Tom felt more equipped to meet the dog's physical and emotional needs. As they left the clinic, he was filled with renewed determination. This was just another step in their journey together, a commitment to ensure that their new life was rooted in safety, health, and unwavering companionship. As Tom settled into his new routine with the German Shepherd, he discovered a supportive community that rallied around him. One afternoon, while taking a walk in the neighborhood, he met several neighbors who noticed the joyful dog by his side. Intrigued by the dog's transformation, they approached Tom with warm smiles and welcoming energy. They shared stories of their own pets and offered invaluable advice on caring for a rescue animal. One neighbor, an experienced dog trainer, volunteered to help with basic training, showing Tom effective techniques to reinforce good behavior. Another neighbor provided resources on local pet supply stores with discounts for new pet owners, ensuring he had everything necessary for the dog's care. Tom felt a swell of gratitude as the community's involvement deepened his connection with his new friend. He invited some neighbors over to meet the German Shepherd, which instantly became a hit with everyone. Laughter and joy filled the air as the dog showed off its playful side, creating a sense of belonging for both Tom and his companion. This support not only enhanced their lives but also reminded Tom that building a family doesn't just involve blood, it can also include a loving community united by shared compassion. Over the following months, the German Shepherd's transformation was nothing short of remarkable. What had begun as a timid dog, haunted by fears of neglect and abandonment, blossomed into a confident and loving family member. Each day brought new discoveries, not just for the dog but for Tom as well. The once intimidated animal was now a playful companion, eagerly participating in daily activities. Whether it was running through the yard, splashing in puddles during rain, or curling up beside Tom on the couch, the dog's joyful spirit became a visible testament to its resilience. Guests who visited were greeted with wagging tails and happy barks, a far cry from the silence that once filled Tom's home. Tom marveled at the progress they had made together. Each milestone, the first time the dog sat on command and the moment it confidently explored new environments, spoke volumes of their journey. The healing process was not solely physical, it involved emotional growth that enriched their lives profoundly. Together they had rewritten a narrative of suffering into one of joy and acceptance, showcasing the power of love and patience. This was more than just a pet. The German Shepherd had become a symbol of hope, teaching Tom that with time and care, transformation is possible. As Tom watched the German Shepherd playfully romp around their home, he couldn't help but reflect on how this unexpected encounter had transformed not only his life but the dog's as well. The journey from shivering on his porch to becoming a beloved member of the family was a testament to the profound impact of compassion. Tom remembered the initial moment when he opened the door. The dog's pleading eyes had stirred a deep empathy within him. That decision to act, to offer warmth and safety, had changed everything. He realized that kindness toward animals in distress could ripple through lives in ways he hadn't anticipated, turning fear into trust and loneliness into companionship. This experience taught Tom invaluable lessons about resilience and healing, reminding him that every creature deserves a chance at love and safety. He felt grateful for the network of support from his community, which had reinforced the importance of caring for those in need. In this quiet moment, surrounded by laughter and joy, Tom understood that his connection with the German Shepherd was not just about saving a life, it was about nurturing a bond that highlighted the beauty of compassion. It was a reminder that sometimes opening your heart can lead to the most unexpected and rewarding transformations. As Tom sat on the couch, watching his German Shepherd playfully chase after a toy, he felt a deep sense of gratitude for the journey they had taken together. The transformation of this once timid dog into a cherished companion had not only changed their lives but also reinforced a powerful lesson about the importance of compassion. Tom realized that many animals like his dog are waiting for someone to notice them and offer help. His experience inspired him to become an advocate for animal welfare, encouraging friends and neighbors to consider adopting pets in need. He shared stories of his journey at community gatherings, emphasizing how every creature deserves a chance at love and safety. He began volunteering at local shelters, sharing his knowledge about proper care and training while inspiring others to open their hearts and homes to rescue animals. Tom understood that fostering compassion in everyday life could create ripples of change, transforming not only individual lives but entire communities. In closing, he reflected on how small acts of kindness could lead to significant transformations, not just for animals but for people as well.
By nurturing compassion, we can build a better world together, one filled with love, understanding, and countless second chances.